Alpha males are back, boys back, and the alpha males are back.
Just as delicious as you can imagine.
The alpha males are back, boys back, and the alpha males are back.
Just wanna degrade the white man.
All right, welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back. Episode number 49.
Oof.
Episode number 49. And you know what?
And you know what? We're winning.
That's right. That's right. Unlike the president, man, we still winning.
He's still trying, though. He's still trying, bless him.
He's still, he just had a rally today.
Did he?
Thousands of people out there with no mask. And,
Of course.
Oh, excuse me, I got to say like white folks, no masks. You got to pronounce that S
Masks.
at the end. It's just like the word axe for me. Axe. And then ask.
Ask.
So when black folks in common vernacular, we just say axe.
Really?
Let me ask you a question. Axe, but not ask. That is the correct pronunciation. Anyway.
And what's the finna? I'm finna.
Oh, finna. Finna means like something you're about to do, or if you go real down deep in the South, like where Rob Labrie is from. Shout out to Rob. It's fixing.
I'm fixing to do it.
Actually, that's really like, gosh, it really is two Americas. White people generally say fixing, fixing too, and black folks say finna.
Yeah.
Which is, they're variations of the same word. Yeah. Anyway, that's a little bit of American lexicon trivia. Yeah, so anyway, how was your week, man?
It was good. I mean, I got a bit of I had a couple of private messages from my little rant last week's episode. People kind of...
Yeah, we pissed some... You pissed off
I didn't
some
piss
folks.
no one off. Apart from the two people.
Of course you did, actually. You did piss some people off.
But no, it was kind of the same thing. People were kind of like... I mean, there's no side to pick on, but they understand my side of it.
Some people were very supportive, shall we say, and
Yeah.
some people were not so supportive.
Yeah, mainly you.
That's right.
Yeah. Low down, good for nothing.
That's right.
But anyway, it just is what it is.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Everybody's
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, thank you guys for some of you guys chimed in. A lot of you guys chimed in.
Also,
Appreciate the feedback, man. So keep listening.
Also, sorry, we have our first official recipient of the Black and the Brit T-shirt.
Oh man, did we get an Instagram post?
We did not.
You are social media manager, man. What's really going on?
Down. Well, you don't pay me enough.
Goodness.
So
I gotta do everything.
August sent his driver over to pick up the shirt. I said I was going to send it by Gojek. He said, I'll just send my driver over. So his driver turned up on, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday it was. And then he's got his shirt, and it fits perfect, he said.
Fantastic.
He's got that XL shirt.
Because he's lost a lot of weight. Because that's because he's looking good, living that good life that I was talking about. That transformed life, man. You know what I mean? Got with Vanessa.
Hopefully we'll see.
Living better, eating better.
We'll see a nice picture on Instagram of August with the shirt on, living it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And August is just one of my favorite people in Jakarta, man, because he's just cool. You meet people that are just cool. You don't never see them too fired up about nothing, but never too down about stuff. And stuff. Cool
He's
guy.
got that
man.
Chinese dragon in him somewhere, though.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's you. I don't know nothing about no dragons, man. I don't get down like that. You know what I mean? I gave up them narcotics, but whatever he got is definitely working. So
Definitely, he needs a haircut though.
I didn't say that. He said that. I think it looks good, August. So if you're listening, I like it. I like the hair.
I saw him with a hairband on, and that was just too much for me. When I see a guy with a hairband on,
see, he just hating. He just hating. That's all it is.
Yeah, because I'm bald, and I have to live with the fucking thing. And like, what's annoying about being bald? Okay, yeah, I'm bald. I get it, but it's the fucking weekly shave of all the hair that can grow. It's so annoying. Like I have nice thick side
thick
and
back hair, right?
Yeah. But I definitely got thick back hair. But it's just the torment of going, well, you can't grow any hair on the top, but all that hair that you can grow on the sides and the back, you're gonna have to shave that off because else you're gonna look stupid.
Trust me, if you could put a beret on or a headband, you'd do it too.
And what was funny, when I was a kid, when I still had hair, I would always walk around with a baseball cap on. I never let the hair out.
I suffered from the same stupidity, man.
Yeah.
Same stupidity. And then when I started not wearing hats, somebody told me that might have been the reason why I went bald so early.
Yeah?
Because I went bald at like 23.
I was 16. It started falling out.
That's rough.
Apparently it was like a reaction to Brill cream, of all things. So it just said, the doctor said that I had two options. He said you can, because it's all down to testosterone. So they said we can castrate you, and then you'll stop losing hair, and you won't grow any body hair any more body hair at 16. Or you just, that's it. It's just done. Like you.
Obviously,
you
he was
you get
joking
it.
when he said to castrate that.
No, because it is. It's testosterone. Testosterone is what causes male pattern baldness.
Is it too much testosterone or
Yeah,
lack
definitely.
of?
Too much. That's
Oh,
why.
that's
why I was-
cool. That's a good sign for me. Then I'm still winning.
So
You know what I mean? Still living large and in charge. You know what I'm talking about, ladies.
he said you most probably had a reaction to hair products that you use that you would have definitely gone on bald at some point in your life. It's just that this might have
You might have sped it up.
yeah. So thanks to Brill Cream, who's never going to be our
I gotta think that it's. I gotta think honestly because my grandfather wasn't. I heard it comes through your mother.
it's your mother's side, yeah.
Neither my grandmother nor my mother or have like baldness or thinning hair. So
Someone's been creeping.
no, it ain't the creeping thing. But I would say if I had to take a guess, it's probably more dietary. Like obviously we eating
I don't know.
way different foods than our parents was eating.
Definitely, that's why everyone looks younger and stronger and bigger because you have the food.
Well, what if that's one of the side effects? You look younger, strong, and bigger, but you lose your hair quicker.
Take that hair off.
Anyway, I don't know how we went down this rabbit hole. I had a little. I wanted to back up a bit. Hold up. I wanted to back it up. Hold up. I want to go back to last week.
Corey's been playing with his sound effects.
You know it. I wanted to back it up just a little bit because last week we were talking about the Nate Robinson and what's his name fight? Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, that's right, yeah.
And I was out here. I was honestly expressing too much sympathy for the guy.
Really? Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why.
For Nate.
Yes, way too much sympathy for Nate.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, and I got wind of this a few days ago. It was brought to my attention that Nate Robinson, when he saw the guy in the chat, like doing one of his fight videos or whatever, and he started talking about how I can beat him, I can kick his ass. I'm like, Nate, you brought that on yourself.
So he was giving some mad shit online.
He was talking. See, you wrote a check. Apparently, that your hands nor your feet
Or your face. No parts of you.
Of you could cash that check, brother. Well, actually, your face card because he cashed in a lot of that mat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't know he was up there talking. I didn't know he was talking slick before the fight.
Well, you got to hype it up. If it was just a hype train, or was it before it was all? Was it before?
It was all initiated by him.
Ah.
That's how the whole fight came to be because he said,
How many
"I
baby
can whip
mamas
him."
does he have?
I don't know. I'm not getting it all.
Maybe he needs some checks.
Well, that's possible too. I'm just talking about you can't be the aggressor.
Right.
And then when you get whooped, expect people to have sympathy for you. Nah, man, you look bad because it was all your fault. You initiated the conflict. He gave you what you asked for, and we saw the results.
Yeah. You still don't know what day of the week it is.
Of course not. So I have no sympathy. He can't even get to the bank because he's all woozy and
Can't
all
sign
the
his
equilibrium
check.
is off. My point is, I was sounding a little bit too sympathetic because when I listened back to the episode, I was like, yeah, I was giving a lot of credit. Plus, he's the black guy. But
Yeah,
not only did
definitely.
you make us look bad, but you was talking that slick. You was talking so slick before that fight, Nate. I thought you would have been prepping for months. The way he was talking, nah, man.
He probably just thought, fuck it. I used to be he is a retired athlete. I can whoop this guy's ass.
Right. Retired athlete. And what's he thinking? YouTube, white boy, easy win.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm definitely not the only one. Brothers, this ain't 1980s when you just show up and slap a white dude in the face and he's dropping on the floor.
Yeah, white people aren't scared of black people
They're
anymore.
they ain't going for that one no more.
No.
Plus, these guys taking MMA and jiu-jitsu and Taekwondo Chi and all these other variations of
That's
whoop
why I
your
order at the
ass,
Chinese.
whoop your ass martial arts. Man, you better be cool fooling with these white folks, man.
There was a time though. I remember when just white people were so scared of any black. Even if
All you had to do is just be black.
Just be black. Yeah, be one black guy walking down the street and four white people. Everyone grabbing their pockets and like right.
Man, them good old days gone for good, brother.
Yeah.
These brothers, these white boys out here taking these martial arts and these creatines and all these you know what I mean?
Mexican supplements.
So, all these kind of supplements and cocaine to add on top of that, man. They ain't afraid of nobody, man. They in the Proud Boys gangs and all these Boogaloo boy gangs. Man, they looking for the fight. You better be watching out now. So anyway, I just wanted to back that up on that particular on that topic because he was Yeah, he was wrong. Talking smack, and then end up getting beat down like that. Boy, you got what you deserve.
Well, that's what happens. It's very easy to talk a lot of shit online, and then when you're toe to toe, face to face with the person you've been talking shit about, it's a whole different matter.
It's always that's why our coach used to always tell us, I don't care what. Well, it's basic sports anyway. I mean, especially if you're talking about a contact sport like American football. I don't care what the record is, man. I don't care what people look like on tape.
Yeah.
When you get in there, when it's time to play, that's when the rubber meets the road. So I don't care what you thought you saw or what you think you see or your opinion of them. Well, however they perform on that day that's how you got to show up to match that intensity. If you don't, well then, guess what happens? We see Nate Robinson happens.
Well, we see this in football. I know Spice is gonna send me a message about this, but so in sports, like so Manchester United used to be a powerhouse in football. Now they've gone to shit.
Are they garbage?
Well, they're okay. They're not as bad as Arsenal anyway. But what?
Apparently, that was a joke that somebody was supposed to laugh at.
Dieter
I didn't
from
get it.
Pokers.
Okay, got you.
Hopefully, he'll be shaking his fist at his.
Got you.
So there used to be a time where teams would already be defeated going to Manchester United, going to Old Trafford. They would already know they're going to lose because they're just playing this super
garbage team, right?
Yeah, any team, almost any team. They might lose maybe 2 or 3 times a season. That's it, 4 times a season. Unlike the Arsenal, they were the Invincibles, where they never lost a single game in a season. But now it's just gone to shit. People there's average teams are beating them.
Man, you?
Yeah, average teams are beating them. Like teams that have just been promoted from the championship, from the lower league, have beaten them and all this stuff. So now they've this team that used to be like, oh shit, well, guess we just go and maybe we get a draw. To fuck, we can beat these. They're shit. And that's probably what.
All right, ladies, this is our regularly allotted 5 minutes of sports segment.
Yeah, sorry, Mum.
Sorry about that. Well, every good team goes through that, though. You got
Alabama's doing it now.
Yeah, Alabama looks like that.
Sucking Chris Dickey.
49ers used to be like that back in the days. 49ers used to be the best team in the world, and now they've been at the bottom feeders. Seattle was like that. Well, Seattle was garbage, but then they became good, and then they back to kind of being garbage. My point is, every team kind of suffers through those ups and downs, right? They just got beat down.
No, they're 9-0. They just beat LSU 55-17.
Well, LSU didn't really have a team this year.
No.
Yeah, LSU, they had a lot of players opt out. All right, we're almost over with our 5 minutes of sports, ladies. Yeah, LSU is not very good. My point is, everybody spends a little time in the dumpster.
Let's see if there's any. Have they played any ranked teams yet?
Who, Alabama?
Yeah.
Probably not. Tennessee, Appalachian State, Nut Corn Cracker University. Man, nobody watching them games.
No.
Ain't nobody going to see no. Anyway.
They beat Auburn 42-13.
Auburn ain't been good in years. Ain't been good since Cam Newton left. So,
really?
Yeah, they've been sorry.
They beat MS State 41-0.
Mississippi State. Ain't nobody going to Mississippi State.
I know you'd be wearing one of those.
Oh, Georgia? Yeah, Georgia's all right.
They beat them 41.
Yeah, Georgia ain't no good no more. Georgia ain't no good. All those teams have been through at one point, that used to be the best conference in America. But now it's pretty garbage now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get off the sports,
Let's get off of that. What else do we wanted to talk about? There's something that's been going on online. It is actually kind of related to what we've been talking about. And you actually had a Facebook post about this.
Who?
You did.
I did? Oh, yeah, I sure did.
So you said if there's 2 things you want to watch, something like that, Kevin Hart special, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion, watch the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
reunion. I said that. Shout out to you for the instant recall.
There we go.
A random Facebook post.
Yeah. I stalk.
I agree. I didn't like it.
I thought it was entertaining. He seems like he's trying to be honest in the most like liberal way. Obviously he's bending truths, he's bending things that happen. I just thought it was good. I really enjoy stand-up, and there's not much stand-up happening, especially like new releases. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's a funny guy. His expressions, the way he talks, he is a funny guy in a way, but the actual content maybe not that great. But he was there on his gym jams on stage in his house.
I thought that was the only cool part of the show.
I didn't like the bullshitness of it. Like, he wakes at the end, when he wakes up, he's in bed, he's dreaming about it, and then he's like looking at the camera and all that crap. It's like, obviously it's produced. It's a scene.
I didn't mind that part at all. I mean, setting it up, right? He's
Yeah.
setting it up that he's
But-
that he's in his house.
I thought it was all right. I thought it was.
I didn't think it was. I think honestly, to be, and this goes to our other point because some other people thought they were being kind of critical of Kevin Hart, and really his only defense was, "I'm rich, so I must be doing something right." That was really his defense.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. He said that. He's like, "Well, I must be doing something right for all this money I made from being not funny." But if
Yeah.
your defense is, "I've got more money than you," that's an extremely weak defense because honestly, in a business that's like like comedy or just like entertainment in general, where it's how do I say this? It's imbalance in terms of like who gets recognized and who doesn't, because there's a whole lot of variables that goes into. Like the funniest guy, like Dave Attell, right? Dave Attell is super funny.
Oh, he's amongst comedians. He's
Have
the best
you
joke
ever
writer.
seen him in any big movies?
Nothing.
You've never seen him like he's still not a
Yeah,
mainstream
but
guy.
other people are chasing the dragon. That's
My
the thing.
point is, so to bring up the fact that you got money and to equate that with how funny you are, it's that those are not equitable. Those are not equitable metrics because
And obviously the numbers are going to be skewed because there's not that many new comedy specials out on Netflix. So then when his pops up as a new comedy special on Netflix, a lot of people are going to watch it. So he's going to
Because
get
he's the
those
big
clicks
name.
and he'll go, well, look, obviously people are watching it.
yeah, he's a big name. But more importantly, though, I think. So you gotta. It's a weird thing with black comedians, and I have to be honest about that. With black comedians, with black entertainers in general, it seems like the ethos in Hollywood is there can really only be one at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like that in movies.
Yeah, seriously. So Kevin Hart has been the one.
The token comedian. Well, you got
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Well, no, he's not a movie star though. Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle never
Well, he's
chased
been in
movies.
movies.
He's been in some.
Yeah.
But they've never been like blockbusters. Like, what's that
then
movie he did?
Dave Chappelle's it. I mean, Kevin Hart's in with The Rock, and they've done.
That's my point.
How many movies?
He's in that blockbuster
They're like the
upper
Black
tier.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah, he's the blockbuster upper tier, like where Eddie Murphy was, like in the late '80s when he started doing like Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
he
that was
started
great.
doing 48 Hours and all.
Yeah.
No, he was. Then he broke away from the comedy
What was his name?
altogether.
Axel Foley.
Yeah, Axel Foley.
Yeah.
He stopped doing comedy altogether, right? So he just
Yeah.
stayed in that movie star lane. Well, Kevin Hart is still trying to do the comedy thing,
Right.
where he's in the movie star lane.
Yeah.
And that can be a problem for some young comedian because they could be like, yo, you've got yours now. Get out the way and let
Yeah.
some other people, you know what I mean? But Kevin is still, honestly, I think he's chasing Chappelle.
Well, what? So I've watched many interviews with him, and he's just saying that he wants to accrue generational wealth. He wants his kids never have to work on the back of his name, and I don't blame him. He's doing all these Kevin Hart productions, iHeartRadio, all these things, and because he's grabbing every opportunity he can, and he's making money from it. So in that sense. Well
In
done,
that
well,
sense,
well done.
Pauly Shore was
well done to
the
you.
funniest comedian on the planet at one point.
Yeah. Well, he
And
was
nobody
in
even talking about Pauly Shore no more.
Encino Man and all that crap.
I'm saying he had his time.
They
though.
own the comedy
I
store.
know that. I know. But my point is, his celebrity does not necessarily mean he is the funniest. It does make him the highest paid because he is the most sought after right now.
Yeah. Well, he's the new flavor. What?
Yeah, he's the one. I'm not gonna say that on air.
Ninja.
But yeah. He's the ninja this year,
Right.
And then next year,
Eddie had his time in the 80s and 90s in comedians.
and
Yeah.
then it moved on to Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith kind of occupied that
That's
movie
true.
star character.
Yeah, that's
kinda,
true. Denzel dips in and out. He doesn't
But he's
need to
an
do
actor.
shit now.
He's not a comedy.
He's just yeah.
He's just an actor, and he's
Yeah.
never tried to do anything other than that.
This is the 49th episode, and finally Corey's shitting on a black man.
Oh, stop it! I do it all the time, man. Cut it out. But he's not funny. Let me rephrase that. He has Kevin Hart himself. His physical comedy is funny,
Yeah.
right?
Have you seen his documentary, Don't Fuck This Up?
I haven't seen that.
You've got to watch that. That's really good.
I honestly, I don't like his stuff. Honestly,
It's not comedy. It's
Oh,
just
it's not
his
comedy?
life.
Okay.
It's just
I'll check it
things
out.
going on. There's a bust up with one of his friends where they nearly have a fight on the plane and they get arrested and all this crap.
unfortunately, he's funny to a lot of white people because white people like that kind of stuff. Like he's okay. First and foremost, he's a small black guy.
Yeah.
Not very intimidating.
Yeah.
And he always comes around, and he always tries to make himself extra unintimidating.
He's like a black Dan Dubes.
I wouldn't go that far.
Shout out, Dan. Sorry, Dan, but you're in Singapore.
Nobody's threatened by Kevin Hart. Nobody's threatened by him. He ain't the dude from the Green Mile, Mark
Right.
Clark Dunn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So white people kind of like funny, fuzzy black dudes, like, you know what I mean? Like
It's
cute
funny.
black guys.
When you type in Kevin Hart in Google, the first thing comes up. What do you think comes up?
The Green Mile?
No, Kevin Hart. If you think of the search history,
Jumanji?
no, Kevin Hart height is the
Oh,
first one. Then
God.
it's
He's like-
movies. Then it's net worth. Let's see what's net.
Oh, he's like 300.
200 mil.
Yeah, okay, something up.
He's
something
5'4". I'm a foot taller than him.
Of course.
I'll put my foot
But
in
my
his ass.
point is, white people like cute and cuddly. Black people like that, especially if they got these funny antics. You know, he's got these. He bugs his eyes out sometimes. He does a little cooning. I mean, call it what it is. Does a little cooning every once in a while. It's funny sometimes. I like him. I like his. Sometimes his gestures are real funny.
I do like it.
Yeah, I like his gestures sometimes, but in terms of actual comedy and his content, he's not that guy. He's not
No.
the guy you're going to watch for that. Like a Chappelle. I'll watch a Chappelle. Like Chappelle, his last two specials, he hasn't made a joke.
No, he's just talking. There's one on. There's one on. He's got two. He's got the 8-minute 46, which is a tribute
That was the one
to
we watched that. The George Floyd thing.
George Floyd thing. But then he did another one recently.
I saw that.
Yeah, not sticks. And stones.
Unforgiven.
Yeah, when he's talking about when people when he was so scared, he would the 3-card Monty.
Yeah.
And then he ratted him out, and he's like, and he said his number one thing takeaway was, don't fuck with someone's meal, don't
That's
fuck with
real.
someone's money. If you're,
Absolutely.
like if I'm trying to make money and you come up and fuck it up, then we fight.
We fighting, man. Actually,
his
it's been
last
more
60
like
bucks, wasn't
it's
it?
been more like educational.
I can do the 3-card Monty.
No, I mean, see, he thought he was smarter than the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And the guy was, you know what I mean? Like he was good at what he did.
Yeah,
So
but no, because the whole point was when they do the 3-card Monty, they have people. It's not just one person. There's a gang. There's like 4 or 5 people, and they're betting small, $10, $20, $10, and then the guy that's dealing lets the people win.
Yeah, of
So
course.
then he come in and he saw some people winning, saw some people lose. He's like, "Fuck, I can win." He puts $60 down, and then he loses his $60, and then he just sits on the corner and
Well, don't
watches
give
this
the whole
guy.
thing away, man. He put
No, that's
that
just
out.
the one thing.
Right. So if you watch it, excuse me. If you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it.
It's on
educational.
Instagram.
It's on Instagram.
Yeah.
I found it on YouTube.
I saw it on the IGTV.
I found it on YouTube. I thought it was it's educational more so. It wasn't so much.
Well, he's
funny.
now got the following where people just want to hear his story.
Absolutely.
He
man.
doesn't have to be on stage making jokes like, "Y'all got any more of that?" what's the racist black guy's name?
Tyrone Biggums. Clayton Bigsby.
Divorces his wife because she married a black man.
Oh God! Listen, we don't have to rehash that.
So,
the Chappelle show,
But yeah, he's just got that following now that he's bigger than being a comedian
because
So he
he's a comedian first.
Yeah, so he can. But the way he grabs an audience and people are just watching, listening, and just completely immersed in it.
Well, I think it's also partly because all right, we know that he walked away from 50 million, and everybody in their mind is like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
But there's something to admire about a person with that level of freedom, or who at least exhibits that kind of freedom.
We should say this is a check this out. You should listen to it because he talks about the Chappelle
No, it's
show.
too short to be a check this out. I got something better than that, actually.
Well, within that, he talks about how he signed the contract for the Chappelle show, and it's called the Chappelle Show and everything. But he doesn't own any of that. He doesn't own anything, so he can't.
got the DVD.
He can't do anything with that. People can sell that, put it onto Netflix, put it on whatever, and make money off him, and he won't make a dime because he sold his rights to it. Maybe he wasn't that successful back then.
You know, what you mean wasn't that successful? It was successful.
No, before the Chappelle
show, yeah.
Before the Chappelle show.
Because he had just done like Men in Tights, and I think Half Baked had already been out at that point. And the crazy part is, if I sold my box set DVD that I have right now, I'd probably make more money off of Dave Chappelle's name than he would make off his name.
It's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
So now he has to make, if he wants to do another sketch show, he has to call it something else. Because
the black guy who left $50 million on the table show.
The not Dave Chappelle show. That's what I'd call it.
Oh man. Anyway, so Kevin Hart, I mean, like I said, some people enjoy it. Seems to be a divide on who enjoyed that last comedy special that he did.
I mean,
and who doesn't.
I did enjoy it. I thought it was good to watch. I mean, nowadays, like I used to watch it all and listen to all the jokes and try and figure out where they're coming from. But with that one, I was in and out, like zoning in, zoning out, like on my phone.
It just wasn't fun. Actually, even the cursing seemed out of character to me. Mm. It seemed like he's trying to be that Chappelle or that Richard Pryor, and you're just not that guy. You got to accept it. But you are a movie star, and you're funny in movies because he does funny stuff. He said he has a funny voice. Like,
yeah, he does.
All
have
of
a
that
funny
is part
voice.
of your funny.
Yeah,
that's part of your funny. It don't mean because you're not the most like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, I didn't really like his comedy because he was more of a physical.
It was very physical, facial expressions, all that stuff. But then again, he was coming up in the 80s and 90s, so
but that
it doesn't
didn't appeal
resonate
to me.
back
That didn't
then.
appeal to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he's extremely funny.
Yeah.
Like I've watched him. Oh, man, he just did when he played Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that was
Brilliant.
great. That was great.
He was funny and he was like super serious. Come on, man. I'm not taking nothing away from Jim, but I wouldn't consider him like one of the greatest comedians ever. The guy's a brilliant actor. He's talented.
One of the greatest comedians ever, but what a lot of them are saying is
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. They say he took the gravy train and went straight to movies and made an absolute fortune.
That's why he got 10 kids now.
Knocked up one of the Spice Girls and then still paying all that money.
Two of the Spice Guys.
And then we have a K-Fed.
Oh, another
hopefully
Hall of Fame inductee.
We're praying for him.
Praying for you, brother. Get that check.
But there was comedians like I always listen to Joe Rogan when I go to the gym, when I'm in the car. So I'm always listening. And they were saying how Eddie's like did this massive Netflix deal to produce a special, and the story is he's getting paid like $80-90 million to do a Netflix special. And he's
already produced one movie for him, but he's doing Coming to America 2.
Yeah. So coming back to America.
Coming back to America.
Yeah.
Going back to Africa. One of them, some direction they moving.
Yeah.
And also he's doing I think it is Go Back to Africa.
Whatever.
I think it is Going Back to Africa.
But what they were saying was like before the COVID happened, he was in the small clubs getting his act together, and they said his timing was still on point. Everything was so good. It was just effortless, and they just said he's number one in their eyes. And these are comedians like Joe Rogan saying he's number one, and Joe Rogan is like. I
think Rogan's funny.
Yeah,
I've seen his stand up. I like his stand up more than like a Tom Segura. I like because Rogan is a bit more to the punch. Like, okay, here's a premise. I'm setting up the premise. Here comes the joke. Laugh time. Yeah. Where Segura is more like it's kind of on and on. It's a lot of like calling back to the joke I said like 20 minutes before. Yeah, not my flavor.
I like all of them. I think it's because I listen to all their podcasts. When I see their specials, I really like it. But yeah, Eddie's supposed to be still the guy.
Well, Eddie's more concerned about cancel culture is obviously on the forefront of everybody's mind. Well, not Chappelle. Like Chappelle's just kind of like said, forget it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, because Eddie was one of the things that they were already talking about. Like, oh, what about because when he was rumored to doing the SNL stuff. They automatically, there were stories start coming out.
He did the
homophobic.
SNL, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But before that, it was about what about these homophobic rants you did back in 1973? And it's like, come on, man.
Everyone. This is the thing is that you can't go back on what people used to say 20 years ago, and because faggot was one of the biggest things, and retard was like is now
retard
now
should not be a bad word.
It shouldn't be. It's a classification of intelligence.
I'm talking about retard in terms of like, let's say you're trying to retard the progress of a flame.
Yeah,
that's why they call it a flame retardant.
Yeah.
That's not a bad word.
So you have imbecile, retard, you have all these different things.
I'm talking about in the context I use it. It's not a bad word.
Okay. Well, that's retarded.
I'm trying to retard the cancellation of this podcast. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's just weird how people can now latch on to different words and then say this is offensive, this is this now. You can't say this, you can't say that. And it's just, fuck off. Fuck off. This isn't the podcast. If you're worried about that, don't listen.
Don't listen.
Fuck
but at
you.
the same time, though, I think in a world of in a particular space like a comedic space where you got to use everything at your disposal. You can't be encumbered by like what somebody would think is offensive.
I remember I was like 16, 17, and I just heard this joke. And I was on the putting green at Dainton Park, and I actually told the guy that I hit with a golf ball a year before, I told him this joke. I said, what do you call an epileptic in a bush? And he said, oh, my daughter's epileptic. And I was like, oh, fuck. And he went, no, go on. I was like, oh.
Nah.
And he went, no, go on. I went, Russell in the...
That's pretty funny.
But it made me feel so bad when he said that. Like, it was one of those things. But then he knows that it's not coming from anything hateful to what... I never knew his daughter was epileptic.
Right.
So there's no hatred. I'm not pointing fun at... And there's just people that are just automatically going, oh, you're saying this, so you must hate all people that have an extra chromosome or a little bit... They beat downs. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I thought that's actually pretty funny. I thought I was anticipating something a bit more cringeworthy, but that's not so bad, Russell. I think it's pretty funny. Anyway, man.
With that being said, should we take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a
Fill
quick
the cup
break.
up.
Fill them. You know what time it is. Fill your cups up. Get your drinks.
I'm on the vodka tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
He's on. That's why he's feeling a little spicy tonight. No, shout out to Spicy and Baby Spicy. All right, we'll be back with more Black and the Brit. Stay tuned.
The message I have, it's a very simple one. The era of the pajama boy over. Alpha males are back. Alpha males are back. Alpha males are back. Alpha males Alpha males Alpha males are back.
Okay, let me play Obama here.
All right, man. How's that drink, man?
It's good. It's cold.
Although it was weak.
It was weak at the start. I didn't put enough vodka in it.
You made it, man.
I know.
Yeah, you made it.
I had to test it. But when I put the vodka in the freezer, and when I poured the vodka into the glass first with no ice, the glass cracked a bit. So I think I'm drinking a bit of shrapnel.
You know what? I wanted to back up just a little bit, just slightly. Man, I wasn't gonna announce it today, but we were gonna do it. Excuse me. Let me get my words together. I'm doing a repress of those shirts, not the same version. Get
our faces on them.
The ones with the logo on it. Yeah, the proper logo.
Oh.
So I didn't want to. So I'm trying to make sure I give out all these shirts before we get before I give out the new ones. But August, you're going to get a new one too. Everybody's going to get it. Well, not everybody, but the people I've been promising. The people I've been promising you going to get that shirt. You going to get both versions of the shirt.
I sent one to Adam in the UK, and I'm guessing. I mean, it's been 2 months now. I'm guessing it's been lost somewhere. But it didn't cost me a lot at all to send it because it was Indonesian style.
Oh, Indonesian mail.
Them shits are 800,000 to send.
I told you.
That's
on DHL.
That's $50.
So man, you might as well wait for the new T-shirt.
Yeah, just wait for the new latest fantastical T-shirts that are coming out. You don't want last year's
version. You know how that is.
You want the new ones.
That'd be quite distasteful to walk out with an old version of the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, you got the 2019.
Oh, anyway. So speaking of which, we were just talking about that off air. This is it, man. There's only three weeks left in 2019.
That is true.
I mean 2020.
2020. Yeah, that isn't true. 2020. Yeah, it's coming to an end, but it doesn't seem it. I think
it's coming to an end, man.
The same problems are going to face us January 1st than what they're facing now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of torn because I kind of think, well, I myself included, I kind of have like this expectation, like once we get out of 2020, we might then like this tunnel is going to open up and it's going to be like sunny skies and
time's all relative, man.
Yeah, man.
We made up the months and the days and the weeks.
It ain't happening, man.
It's going to be the same shit. It's just a different
in my apartment again. Damn, that'll be rough. Yeah. That'll be rough, man. I don't think I can handle another. I mean, what's the prospect of staying in the house again for another year or 6 months? How does that make you feel, like internally?
I think I'm going to get a lot more fatter. That's what for sure. My average step count's about 74. Yes.
That's the toilet to the couch, back to the fridge.
It's a really small apartment. No, I'm joking. No, it sucks. Something has to change. There's too many people losing so much money, and especially when you see things like I saw a video of a woman, a restaurant owner in California. She had to shut down, but yet there's a movie production where they had to open a restaurant across the road from where hers is, and it's like, and they're playing.
They let the movie production
go
continue.
ahead, but she had to stay shut.
Oh, that's cold.
She had to stay shut. So it's just like.
That's cold, man.
Yeah.
That's
and your mayor, I would say, governor or whatever of California,
Gavin Newsom. Yeah, he's a scumbag.
He's a scumbag. bring Arnie back. That's what I say.
Nah, I mean, well, Arnie old, but he's a scum. Yeah, Gavin Newsom's a scumbag, man. There's no other way I could put it. But you know what? He's actually pretty good friends with Marshawn.
Is he?
Yeah, him and Marshawn are pretty.
They
close,
handed
man.
out Skittles.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but they probably definitely token over a couple things.
Yeah.
Hashing out the issue, shall we say.
Way. Well done, Corey.
Oh, goodness.
That was even worth the sound effect.
Give it up to me.
There we go.
A little pun intended. Yeah, man, but no, things are just, I can't imagine them staying on pace like this without some type of without some type of violence breaking out.
Do you think that any
Unrest,
stimulus check or anything like that is going to happen again?
It ain't happening, not in America.
No?
Yeah, you can stimulate yourself to another country. That's the only stimulus you getting. Stimulate your way to Canada, but that's it, man. Ain't nothing happening.
Get your ass to Canada.
Yeah, somewhere else, because no, America, they're done. That's the sad part too. They're going to allow this to happen. Well, I think, have you ever heard the saying like never miss an opportunity? Wait, never let a good crisis go to waste.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
So you're going to have mass evictions, right? You're going to have mass evictions. Mass people getting forced out of their homes due to foreclosures, right?
Yeah, they can't pay their mortgage. They can't pay their rent. Man,
but so if you're a person that's positioned right now, as if you got venture capital money or you just got tons of money, you know how many assets you can sweep up right now for the cheap.
Definitely.
So some people, while me, I'm looking at more of the.
Well, Jeff Bezos, his he was 100 billion before it happened, and now he's at 200 billion.
So I think, honestly, I know these people, as much as it'll take in terms of the human toll it's going to take on people's lives, there are people absolutely salivating about what's going to happen in terms of like these mass. And then, I mean, if you're an employer, you got tons of people out of work. You got tons of people needing jobs and homeless. Man, you could force these people to do damn near anything.
Oh, definitely. There ain't no minimum wage.
Ain't no minimum wage.
Who's going to do it for $4 an hour? I'll do it for $3 an hour.
I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
I just need a sandwich.
Yeah.
Let me lick your fingers. Come on, man. It's gonna be the Hunger Games for real, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's not gonna be pretty, man. So I'm predicting way more. I mean, I thought the election was gonna do that, but really, people ain't invested in. And that's one of the reasons.
The UK, the UK is the first country to have to start doing the vaccines. Right? Yeah.
800,000 people, I heard they rolled out.
Yeah. So let's see what happens.
No, vaccine, regardless of the vaccine, the damage has already been done.
Well, what I don't understand is so you have a vaccine for a specific strain of the virus.
What if it mutates?
But in the Baltimore Ravens, sorry, it's football again, but they had 4 different strains of COVID.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's 4 different strains of COVID, but the last person that got tested positive had the most contagious version of that. So that's why there's more things happening.
Now we got the COVID remix. I was old enough when there's only one COVID.
Yeah,
I remember back in them days.
We need R. Kelly.
No, actually,
remix.
Did you hear about the one the mink COVID outbreak that they had in check this out, y'all. Talk about bargain basement prices right now. Did you hear about the mink COVID outbreak they had in Denmark?
No.
All the little minks, the animals, the minks.
Yeah.
They had a COVID outbreak amongst the minks.
Really?
Yeah, and they were afraid of it spreading to humans. So they killed like 4 million
Millions
minks.
of them, yeah.
Man, check this out. Let's get us our
Just be some cheap coats going out
It's
soon.
time for a new
Big
jacket,
pimpin'.
y'all. It's time for a new jacket. The Players Ball coming up. We can go get us a new jacket,
Wow.
new earrings, new
Wow,
earmuffs.
there was a shock last week when Denmark decided to cull all its mink, up to 17 million animals because of the spread of coronavirus.
Come on, y'all. Let's go get that jacket. We
Ooh.
ain't got to put it on layaway. They probably
Yeah.
throwing them shits
Yeah,
away.
10 cents on the dollar.
Mink boots. Yeah, we gonna be surfing and we gonna be out here sweating to death.
Yeah, I'd wear one in the 32-degree heats of
Give me one of
Jakarta.
them Russian, give me one of the Russian
Those big
KGB
hats.
mink hats.
Yeah.
I'll be out here flossing, sweating to death. Yeah, man. So if you guys know anybody in Denmark, man, hook it up, man. No, I need one of them minks. Like I said, the Players Ball is coming up for real. Players Ball is coming up, and I got to win Player of the Year award.
Did we talk about Maradona? Did he
No,
die? Did he
but he's
die
dead, though.
Yeah, did he die before or after our episode?
Man, I don't know. He died before. I think he died
After.
before. I don't think we mentioned it. I don't think we mentioned
Maradona's dead. Everyone knows the hand of God, all that crap. There's been some bad pictures going around. I mean, he's a god in Argentina. He is like he's
Apparently,
recognized.
he came from like the super slums of Argentina.
Yeah. But he's a god. But there's been some bad pictures I've been sent, like the coroner, like taking pictures whilst he's on the slab, like a selfie with Maradona. all
Really?
this-
Oh,
yeah.
come on, man.
But this is what. So he was really good, right? I mean, he was very good for his as a football player only. Very good as a human being.
Not so much.
Grade A asshole.
Not so
just hookers, coke, all that crap.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I ain't getting. There's been call so he wore the number 10 shirt, and now there's call saying that there's people in Argentina and there's certain people saying that you should retire the number 10 from every call because he's. I mean, okay, he was good, but he wasn't that good. I mean, Lionel Messi wears number 10, and he's saying that you should Maradona's son has asked Lionel Messi to give up his shirt number and choose a different shirt number because Maradona died.
Is he? He's not. Maybe within the Argentina national team, you can't wear the number 10. I understand that, but to
But there
force
always has
everybody in
been.
the world.
It always has been. Yeah,
But to
I
force
just
everybody in the world because Yo Man died.
because I think his personality transcended sport. He wasn't just a football player. He was just this icon. I mean, he fucked over England in the 86 World Cup, 80-something World Cup.
But he wasn't like a
hand of God.
humanitarian.
No, fuck no. He was a drug fiend. And
Of
just,
course. So, I mean, come on. We're not really celebrating a scumbag like that. I mean, the bar is kind of low now, I know, with the current president, but come on, man. I mean, I can see if he. Okay, so here's partially why I have a problem with like the lionization of a person like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was a pretty bad guy. Let me rephrase that. He was good in terms of raising awareness about humanitarian crises all over the world, right? But he was a horrible father.
yeah.
He was a womanizer. You know, this woman, he had like 8, 9, 7, 8 wives and number of kids outside his marriage. Not really a great guy interpersonally, right? But yeah, you did make some sacrifices. I mean, you did some great things with his time on the earth. You can't discount that. But to hold him up and lionize him as like this angelic figure, he wasn't that at all. Martin Luther King the same way.
Yeah.
Right? We can honor them for things that they've done. For Maradona, it would be his accomplishments on the soccer field. But
Yeah.
taking it beyond that, I don't agree with that at all. So, but I mean, that's like the Disneyfication of everything. Like, what's his name? South African president.
Hello?
What's his name?
Someone's
Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, man, he was. I mean, we gonna forget about all the people that they blew up and killed, like before. You know what I mean? I know he did time in prison, but sorry about that. Yeah, he did his time in prison, but at the same time, man, I mean, you know, Nelson Mandela wasn't a perfect person either, but you know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone has a bad side. Everyone does some bad things. Sorry, we had the door come through. What is a package turn up at my door?
Yeah,
For
but
me?
I'm talking about more.
What did I buy?
What you buy, man?
Oh, we don't need to talk about that.
Oh, that attachment to that dildo that you ordered is coming. Okay.
You got the
Robo
vibrator
booster.
4000, yeah.
No, but to you know to you know in hindsight, like lionize these guys as like these almost like deities. I
Yeah.
think it's totally
Well,
it's disrespectful. to the human, to the like you said, the fullness of a person. But it's dangerous to other people. It's dangerous to kids.
A lot of these top sports stars, especially back then, come from nothing. So their upbringing is from the slums of Argentina, for example. I mean, what sort of qualities you think is instilled in that kind of person? It just happened to be very good at kicking a football around the field. Like, you're not going to all of a sudden be a great human being just because you're very talented in a certain aspect of life. But
I disagree with your logic on this particular point. Just because you grew up poor don't mean that you have to
not
adopt
necessarily
right.
poor, but it's just in a bad area. It's a bad.
I grew up in a bad area. You don't necessarily become like a product of that environment. Person. You can,
and that's where you see a lot of his failures in life.
Of course, you
can probably attribute to.
You're going to say, I would say more importantly, more realistically, those influences will always be present.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just not wording it too well.
You don't have to.
That's
yeah,
not
you
great
don't
for a
have
podcast.
to necessarily be there.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me. You don't have to necessarily take on those attributes, but those influences will always be there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you've grown up in an environment like that where, like, it's real cutthroat and, you know, it's life or death in some of these South American slums, man. It's like American slums ain't got nothing on that. I mean, well, I say Baltimore. Baltimore's real bad. Yeah, San Francisco's real bad too. A lot of horrible places in America, but just because you live or you grew up amongst those people does not necessarily
there's
mean
choices. There's definitely life choices, but there's also
choices coupled with opportunity, coupled with luck, man. That's really it, man. So,
well, it's like what with Mike Tyson was like. What do you think happens when you give a kid from the Bronx $300 million? Like,
Mike is a good example of that, man. He was definitely a product of his environment. He lived that way up until he found another outlet.
Yeah.
Right? But even by his own admission, he's not a great person.
No.
And he's never tried to claim to be that.
But he's been a lot better, like, since he's found weed, so to speak. But he was smoking weed up until the fight. He was on Joe Rogan saying I hadn't touched this shit in ages. And I'm like, that's bullshit.
Well, he's just more honest.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, credit to him is more than most people can say.
Yeah.
Because most people are living like dual scumbag lives. I mean, like, you know, they're presenting themselves a certain way in public and then going home and doing, I mean, what you do in the privacy of your home is your business. But if you're, like Bill Cosby, you're trying to project a certain image and you're trying to create this facade that you're living a certain way, and then behind closed doors, you're a total scumbag. You're a total opposite of that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing honorable in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, real scumbag.
But, I mean, he was great for the sport, and there was a big outcry and everyone going nuts. Also, we're going to talk about sports. Did you see the Roman Grosjean crash?
I think was it the guy in the F1 that caught on fire?
F1 that caught on fire.
I saw a little bit of it. I thought it was like a movie or something.
No, it's full on real.
Oh, I didn't know.
So he clipped the front left tire of this car in front of him doing 140, 150 mile an hour, which then put him on a trajectory right into this metal barrier. Ooh. And he went through the barrier. And then as soon as it hit, I mean, it's going 140 mile an hour, no brakes, no nothing. It hits and it explodes, engulfs in flames. The car split in two, and he's stuck in the cockpit. And when he opens his eyes, he said, in the interview, he said, I could see all orange. And he knew it was a night race. It's like, is it sunset? No. Is it sunrise? No. Is it this? No. Am I upside down? No. And then he could see like the visor on his thing like melting. Oh, I'm in fire. And they're in like super protective clothing, like 6 layers and all this crap. And he was sat in the cockpit. And he got his seatbelt off, and then he could wiggle around. He tried to go directly up, couldn't go up. Tried to go left, tried to go right, couldn't go up. Then he sat back down, and he's like, oh my God, I can't die like this. But he said, like, in the interview, he was saying stuff like, he was so calm, he was so at peace, going that, okay, this is it. And then he thought about his daughter and all this stuff. And he said, no, I have to get out. And he was inside the cockpit, engulfed in flames for 27 seconds. 27 seconds, and he managed to get out. When he tried to get out, his foot was stuck.
I saw him, he was like all black. He was charred.
His foot was stuck under the accelerator or whatever. He was stuck under the paddle. He managed to rip the foot out, and then it took his boot off, so his foot got all burnt. So he only had burns on his hands and his feet.
His uniform was charred.
Everything. So he managed to jump over the barrier, and they're just spraying him all through. But like, I honestly, when I was watching it last week, I thought, I've just witnessed someone die. Like I remember being with my dad when Ayrton Senna crashed into the barriers. in 1994. I forget the.
That's the Brazilian dude, right?
Yeah, I forget the track. But yeah, 1994, he crashed into the barriers and he subsequently died in a hospital. What was weird for that is that I remember, whether it's my memory or not, that he stuck a thumb up when he was on the hospital gurney thing, on the ambulance gurney, and then he died. And I just thought, wow, this is the next person I've seen killed in F1. But then here he is 6 days later, just sat in front of a camera talking to Sky News, having a conversation, and he was just telling the story about how it's all going. He's like, I can't.
Well, I mean, them roll cages are pretty secure, though.
It's not a roll cage though, because
I mean,
it's open.
with the roll, they got roll bars and all that
a,
stuff on it.
Yeah, well, it's got what's called a halo. So when it went through the barriers, the steel barriers, the halo saved him because the halo stayed intact, and then it went over the top of him. If he didn't have that halo, that would have just taken his head off. Oh, he would have been gone. He would have been gone.
Oh goodness.
So yeah,
I don't know how we went on this tangent. I remember watching the Challenger blow up. I remember watching that on TV
with a teacher.
Yeah, I was in school.
The woman.
We was in school watching that.
Didn't
man.
they? I watched a documentary. They said that they would wheel the TV in and people would
watch
it in the
They
assembly
put the
hall.
little, they had the little AV projector. I mean, the AV audio video TV on this little like roller thing.
What was that? 86.
So, 1986. I remember them bringing that TV in. We're all sitting there on.
Because I've seen, boom,
blew up. They hurried up, cut that off.
Yeah, because I've only ever seen, because I was only one, but I watched documentary of that, and then you see the family, like the poor mum and dad, and they're going, what's going on, and then there's comments of how they would have died wouldn't have been slow at all, like
it just been fast,
thing,
right?
No, it wouldn't.
Incinerated.
It wouldn't have been fast, right? It would have been slow. It would have
really?
been like cooked to death and all this stuff, and.
Yeah, because you could see it as they were ascending. It started.
Yeah, and then all it was a little O-ring.
Not funny. It's not funny.
All it was a little O-ring.
Like a fuel O-ring.
Yeah. Oh.
Gosh, man.
Oh well.
Oh well. Glad it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm not going on SpaceX or whatever Elon Musk got going on. Definitely not.
That's
getting
bullshit.
On that.
Have you seen that?
Ain't getting on it.
And he's the one way ticket to Mars.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that, buddy. I'll be back when you get back.
He's now the second richest person in the world behind
the first dumbest though. But we ain't gonna talk about that. Yo, man, we're gonna take a really, really quick break. Then we're gonna get into our check this out. You want to stick around? There's some good stuff this week.
You've punched up your check this out. It better be good.
It is good, man.
Mm-hmm. Swing your
More
mouth.
Black and the Brit. Just a moment. Oh, check this out. We're back. Right, we back with more Black and the Brit. The final segment. Check this out. I'm going to go.
You're going first?
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
My check this out is a great movie that I watched a couple days ago. It's called it's called Opening Act with Jimmy O Yang. I didn't even know the guy could speak English because I can only remember him from what's that show? Silicon Valley. Yeah, and I thought that was how. Yeah. Anyway, the guy is a great
Chinese
he's pretty
guy.
funny.
What's
He's
it called?
Really funny. It's called Opening Act, but it's got like it's like semi-document. It's
The
not
Opening Act.
Semi-autobiographical, but it got they got tons of great comedians.
Vince Vaughn produced
in
it.
Tons of great comedians in there.
Oh, Bill Burr's in
It's really everybody's in there. I mean,
Cedric
everybody
the
you can think
Entertainer.
of. Yeah, there are tons of great comedians in there. Also, it dovetails really nicely with another documentary I watched about the Comedy Store. It's like a 5-part series. Really, really good. I had totally forgotten. Well, excuse me. After I watched the documentary, I had totally forgotten how big Jimmy Walker was. J.J. Walker. You know what's his name? The guy who does the big beard, the white dude with the big beard who does. He used to have a late night TV show with The Gap.
Late night with someone. I forget his name.
Oh God, he got now he's doing like these interviews with people and just what's the guy's name? Old white guy with the white beard.
David Letterman.
Letterman used to write for Jimmy
You
Walker.
You don't know your white people, do you?
I'll be forgetting them. he used to write for J.J. Walker because J.J. Walker was the big star at the time.
Yeah?
Him and Gary Shanley and all these other guys. Great documentary. It's called The Comedy Store. It's like a 4-part documentary. It'll take you a couple days. But the opening act, great movie. Great movie. I can't recommend that enough, man. It's a really good movie. So check that out if you got the time.
Wow. I'm going to have to watch The Comedy Store because I'm going to have to... Is that on Netflix?
It was on Showtime.
Uh-oh.
But there are some other avenues, shall we say, that you can have access to that content that we shall not divulge on this particular channel. Hit me in the DMs if you want to know how I'm getting them in.
All right, my one is a Netflix series, and it's called The Queen's Gambit.
I've seen it.
You seen it? Did you like it?
I haven't. No, excuse me. I've seen the option to watch it.
Oh, okay.
But I was like,
so it's all about this chess prodigy. It comes from a book that someone wrote in the 80s, and it's about an orphan teenager that just happens to walk into a chess game, into this custodian, a janitor, playing chess, and she starts playing chess with him. He teaches her, and then she becomes way better than him, and then she goes up and up and up, and it's just about her becoming this real cool, just whooping everyone's ass, and how she fails on her way, and all this stuff. And it was really good. It made me think, because I used to like playing chess as a kid. I'd never be as good as Sudesh. Sudesh, shout out to Sudesh. He one time, we were in EP. I played him 4 times. He beat me 4 times. He said, "I'll bet you $100,000 you can't beat me the next one. But if I win, you give me $1,000." And I was like, ooh. So I was like, well, I could be $1,000 down or 100,000. I said, you don't have 1,000. I was like, in 2 months I'll have 100,000. I was like, oh, fuck you, ass. Anyway, but yeah. And what's interesting about this, like, it's been quite a successful show for those people who haven't seen it. But the Netflix effect. So the Netflix effect. I was reading into it. So sales of chess have gone up by like over 1,000% just because of this show. There's more and more people now buying books on Amazon about chess, about strategy and all this stuff, all because of this show. And it's crazy how Netflix has this knock-on effect on certain things. So if they could do this, if they could do more series on things that used to be very popular, because like board games, I mean, chess is it's a very
cerebral.
Yeah,
you got to. But I never learned how to play chess. But I heard apparently you've got to be extremely strategic. Like any move could cost you the game. Right?
Definitely, like a tiny, insignificant move. The way that you would sacrifice certain pieces just because you want something else happening in 7 moves time. All this crap. So it's crazy. It's just thinking about how Netflix has such an influence on people's lives. Like if they did this for any other dwindling sport, so I bet it would just blow up.
That's a good theory.
Because chess has gone up. Like it's downloads for chess.com on iPhones has jumped up to be like in the top of the charts now. Like chess is in the top of the charts.
To be fair, chess has always been kind of popular though. It's not. I mean, it's probably not in terms of the mainstream, but chess has never really gone away as like being a
but it's like people like all this. They like all the Candy Crush bullshit and all this crap. Shout out to Cripple. But yeah, it was just I really enjoyed it. I watched all six episodes. I think they're like an hour and a half each. It was really good.
All right, so check that out, y'all. Check that out. The Queen's Gambit. What else did I say? Oh, opening act and the Comedy Store documentary. So check those things out. You should keep you busy up until the year 2021. 2021. We'll be back before then, obviously. We're going to come back next week with another episode.
We might have a guest next time.
Yeah, we're going to try to get a guest on, end of the year kind of bonanza. Maybe 2 guests at one time. I don't know. We're going to try new things. New day, new me, new year. Hey!
And what I'm going to be doing next, because my illustrious host, Corey King, he brought over some food that he's cooked. He's cooked me some fish, some chicken. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to eat up all that. I ate some chicken. I said, black people sure know how to cook chicken.
Listen, man, that's one thing I know how to do.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That was lovely. So I'll be telling Shirley, hey, you taste this. This is how it's supposed to taste.
All right, you guys, listen. You know what to do. Continue to wash your hands. COVID is real. Wash those butters cracksicus. Get all up in them cracks. And you know what? I keep forgetting. Floss them teeth too, man. People be forgetting to floss them teethuses. You know what I mean? Get all up in the back, man. I know you got meat stuck all in there. You know what I mean? Old brunch meat from 2 years ago, still stuck in the back of your teeth, man. Get that. We can smell it. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Alpha males are back, back, boy, back. And the alpha males are back.
Just as delicious as you can imagine.
The alpha males are back, boy, back. And the alpha males are back.
Just want to degrade the white man.
Alpha